Hey guys, this is Gorax. Today is the 7th day of Steadwick event, and we unlocked city number 4. Gonna change my formation this time around. I used to do melee formation, and I did one fight today, and I wasn't happy with the result. What I'm gonna try this time around is I'm gonna use a ranged one, because as far as it is at the moment, this city makes it very hard for your formation to survive. So what you need to do first is you need to make sure you have the buffs. I forgot them yesterday, so that's why my damage was lower than usual. You get the buffs from the king shop once you reach a king's level. Just buy them for the privilege points. You're gonna hoard a lot of them, guys. Don't worry about them, because you're not gonna spend them on daily basis. You're only gonna use them in events like that. Next thing I need to excuse me, I need to admit is the rooster. I don't run, as you can see, I don't run rampart or ranged rooster at all. These are my roosters at the moment, okay? And same as conflicts, but I'm gonna use all of them. So what I need to do is, and you guys should be doing that as well, if you have more than one rooster. I unlocked 4, I'm only using 2 at the moment. One is for the crypt and one is for my main formation. So I'm gonna use my range one. As you can see, it changed. So the units I'm gonna use are going to be a marksman, so I need castle units maxed up. I'm gonna use wood elves, so I need rampart. Sadly, my rampart rooster is really weak, so it's only 16,000. I'm gonna use ranged units. I'm gonna use wood elf and marksman, as I've mentioned before. Okay, I'm gonna use ogre, so I still need stronghold. I'm not worried about the defensive, because see guys, the defensive units I'm gonna use, they are there to soak the damage. They won't be the main source of my damage, so if they die, I'm not bothered. I'm gonna use vampires and walking dead, so that's why I'm buffing my necropolis. Okay, vampire is gonna provide me with healing to keep my defensive units alive, and walking dead gonna provide me with a slow buff. I'm gonna use Titan, well, Giant, and I'm gonna use Elemental, Ice Elemental, and I'll explain why I'm using it. So I need to buff Tower as well. I'm gonna use Pit Fiend as well, but I'm not worried about the offensive thing, I'm just worried about the Inferno. Okay, I could have boosted that, but he's not gonna do damage. He's just there to provide utility. As I said before, I'm gonna focus on my range units, and all my spells will go for my range units this time around. I'm sorry. So we go to the Steadwick, okay. And this is the composition I'm gonna run, okay. You could use it on the bottom line as well, but then your vampires will be the main focus. Okay, so I'm hoping here is people gonna focus these 2 units, Ogre and my Walking Dead. My Vampire and my Pitfin's gonna provide me with healing. Pitfin's gonna boost, both Pitfin and Ogre gonna boost healing of Vampire, which means he should be able to keep these 4 units. My main damage sources will be Sharpshooters. They have very low power compared to all my other units. And also the sharpshooter from marksman, as you can see, they're not that much power, okay guys. The next source of the damage will be giant. I'm using giant to get rid of the backline, and I'm using ice elemental because what he does is he frees the targets, okay, so he stops the damage. Also he puts the back row, which means basically almost every unit in the back row, which is the last row, so these units here, gonna get freezed every 17 seconds, so that's gonna keep my tanks alive as well. So I'm not focusing entirely on damage like I used with a melee comp, because all my spells will focus on these 2 units of sharpshooter and the wood elves, okay, so they both call sharpshooters. I'm also gonna do something else. I'm gonna keep buffing my giant using stone shield, so his magic awakening can work. Alright guys, so let's give it a go. I've managed to do over 650 million damage with that composition before, which is quite good considering it's a city number 4. So let's give it a go. Right, so here we are. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. Okay, so what we do is we make sure units get frenzy and they get this buff as well. You just spam spells, and what I'm doing here is I'm buffing my giant as well. I don't care if my tanks die, they're not here to do the damage. Compared to a melee composition, you want to keep all your units alive, but not here. All I care about here is damage from my marksman. Okay. Okay, let's get frenzy. That as well. Okay, I want my Titan to have the maximum stacks of the Awakening, so he's gonna do more damage. One of my tanks is about to die, but I'm not worried, as I said before. Right, so Walking Dead is dead, but as I said before, I'm not bothered. I don't need him, I need to keep my Titan alive. As you can see, the Ice Elemental frees the Magox at the end, at the back. And I'm at 300 million damage already. Oops, I missed the spell. That's what happens when you talk. Okay, Titan killed Ifriti. Almost killed all the units behind the wall, it's only wall. Okay, my tanks shouldn't die now, so it's 500 million. Which is quite good, considering my units are really low power, guys. There are guys that have much more power than I do, and also my Gallo is only 2 stars. So that's why I didn't want to use range units to begin with. As you can see, these 2 units are doing a lot of damage, guys. Okay, it's 600 million and I still got 1 minute. And I'm only using that because the composition that I used before was very hard to keep alive. I really like the melee idea. $700 million. And that is just wall. That is just wall, guys. So yesterday I managed to breach the wall and I wasn't even close to that damage. Okay, the units moved to the boss, but it does no matter. $800 million. 825, guys. And my range units are really weak, okay? So if you're running a similar composition, you'll probably do more than I do. I didn't invest into the range units, and as you can see, all these units, they don't matter, same as Ice Elemental, they all provide utility. Same as vampire, although it's a vampire, so he does a lot of damage. As you can see, he also tanked more damage than most of my, well, no more, but still a lot. And then we got these two guys. Okay, they've done a shit ton of damage, guys. Okay, so if you keep buffing them, they're gonna provide. So make sure you do. Yeah, Ballista's Iron Arrow does a lot of damage as well, 59 times. Okay, so that's it. That's the range composition I used today. As you can see, I have table of what my competition has. And I just want to see if I go to the ranking, is it gonna show? Yeah, it's gonna show I use this composition. Okay, as you can see, my gallo is only 2 stars. Okay, so let me just get back to my normal roster. Okay, so I'm gonna do something else today. And the other thing I want to talk today is the new premium card. Okay, so if you guys finish the last premium card, you can access a new premium card, which is very similar in content. So you still will be able to get free skin at level 30. Well, it's not free because you need to buy the premium edition, which costs £20, and it's really worth it, guys. This is probably the best value item in the game currently. It's even better than the monthly card because you get a skin which is only obtainable through that. You got SSI unit salt stones, which you can get up to 80, and that provides you with a random SSI unit. I've managed to get a Bone Dragon from the last one, which is very good for me because I use Sandra. But all these are very good, except Psychic Elemental. I don't see a composition that fits Psychic Elemental at the moment. It might change, but even a Green Dragon with mature Dragon Mature is gonna be very good. What else you get is you get SR unit tokens. So these are random again, but it's a free tokens. Okay, that's what you get without buying. You get a lot of them. You get quite a lot of other resources, but all these other resources are easily obtainable through the game. But $20 for guaranteed SSI unit and a skin, it's a really good deal. So make sure if you have a budget of £20 monthly, you get that. Cause see the premium card costs half of that, but only gives you gems, okay? And with gems, you need to invest quite a lot to get a profit. But it's still cheap. It's only £10. I think most of us can afford the £10. I think that's it, guys. And I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's day. I hope someone will come up with a better strategy than this range on this particular city, because as I said before, I've tried the range units on previous cities and I've had better results with a melee composition, but this city in particular is very hard to get by because of the AoE that the units behind the wall do to your melee units. That's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.